What is up with it? Welcome back. Today we have another video from the Singapore CS Wave 2. This time is going to be top 4 with a blue Doflamingo mirror match. It looks like just another mirror. Doesn't surprise me. I believe in this tournament, like 6 of the final 8 were um, from Doflamingo. This is the player that we saw in top 8. Uh, Seems like a very good player. This time, I believe he lost the die roll with this player, the right player, winning the die roll. I believe both players kept their hand, so no mulligan. I would imagine he kept because of the Perona. It looks like he put the Weevil on bottom. I didn't get a good look at much else. Two Dawn, I'm imagining we're seeing, yep, a Sengoku. Looks like he's grabbing the Teach. I didn't get a good look at some of the other options there. Oh, double Sengoku. Very strong, very strong. And my apologies for the stream quality. This is not my fault. This is not Team Seafood King's fault necessarily, or RJ's fault, who I'm getting this from. Shoutouts to RJ, shoutouts to Team Seafood King. Love both of their content. Okay, looks like hit Weevil, so there must have been 2 Weevils in that stack is what I'm guessing. I think the raw footage is just bad, um, is what I'm saying. So electing to play the Teach, gonna swing 8 at Weevil, pretty normal stuff. Drew a card. Not exactly sure. Okay, so looks like we're countering. So something that I've noticed about the Eastern players, maybe it's just the hand that they've been dealt, but the player who goes first has chosen to counter out of this first swing on the Weavile in both top 8 and top 4. It does look like the left player does have a lot of counter in hand, which I will admit, most of the time I do not counter out of that. I let it go. So I would be interested in hearing their thoughts why they think it's so important to do that. Left player or right player countered out. Maybe if he swung 7 at the Weevil, I think that's really interesting. The stream quality is so awful, I genuinely can't tell what's happening. RJ trying to fix it, but it's not Twitch, it's not your side. I'm pretty sure it's just the raw footage. Okay, swinging 8 at the Weevil. Playing Weevil off top. So, did he swing? Oh, and also countering. Okay. The Eastern players, from what I'm seeing, love protecting these things from the early swings. Really interesting, actually. I feel like in my games, a lot of those swings go through. Okay, so using Law, bouncing one of his Sengokus, bouncing the Weevil. Oh, and swinging into the Weevil. They really like playing for board control here. He got the 2K out. We do know that the last time when we swung 8 at the Weavile, we got 2 8s, or 2 2s rather, from the hand. So by doing it like this, we have a pretty good idea that the left player doesn't have any 1Ks in hand, that they're really that comfortable with pitching. So now we're swinging 8 at the Weevil. Okay, so there was one. That's interesting that the first hit he chose to counter with a 2K when he had the pudding in hand that he could have countered with. Valuing the... I wonder if there was some... if he was trying to bait him into it. I'm not exactly sure. That's interesting. Left player still honestly has some cards in their hand. And we're going to go ahead and play the Boa here. Oh man, the stream quality. Shout outs to Team Seafood King for streaming this, but I really hope that if they do this sort of thing again in the future, that they have it a little bit more figured out. So is he going to swing into one of the 6s again? Are both players just going to stare at each other with basically full life? So we have 3 Dawn left. We've got 1 already attached to leader off of the Boa. We can either swing 6 and 8, or we can swing 7 and 7. I imagine if we're swinging at board, we'll probably go 6 and 8. If we're swinging at life, I would prefer to see 7 and 7. The right player does only have 4 life. Be interested in knowing what people like here. Do you like swinging at the board, or do you like swinging at life? Me personally, I can't tell how many cards the player on the right has. It looks like it's only maybe 2. If that's the truth, maybe you can swing at board and punish them. But if they have, 5 cards in hand, I would definitely prefer swinging at life. If it's only two though, player on the left really thinking here. I feel like I know this is a thing that Western players think a lot about Eastern players, so sorry about the cliche, but we really have to keep a good pace of play. I'm not exactly sure what is taking so long about this play. I would love to know what he's thinking about. When he does finally take a play, I might just really quickly go back and check to see how long it takes him after he plays the Jinbei and the Boa to decide what he's going to do. Because it's not like he's even thinking about, how he's going to stack the cards, determining how he's going to play the next few turns. He's just, to my knowledge, thinking about how he's going to do these swings. Which, wow. Hopefully everyone is having a great holiday season. I hope everyone is doing the things they love, spending time with the people they love. We can all just think about the holiday spirit while the player on the left, contemplates how he's going to do his swings for the next 20 minutes, maybe. This is honestly really egregious. I hope someone says something to him. You just cannot. You absolutely cannot take this long. Maybe I'm tripping. Honestly, maybe I am tripping. Let's see. Okay, 9:45. Okay. He played the Jinbei Boa at the 6-minute mark. So it took him almost, is that serious? Almost 4 full minutes to make another action. There's just, bro, I would have called Judge 2 minutes ago. Or I would have called Judge. Sorry, I misspoke. I would have said like, hey, can we please make an action soon? Maybe this player did. I really don't know. Okay, here, let me go back. Wow, I can't even. There's no way we're spending 4 minutes on one decision. Okay, so he is swinging 7 at life twice. 1, 2, 3. Really interesting then. If he actually did. If there is only 3 cards in this player's hand, or maybe there's 4. I'm really not sure. So he did elect to just swing at life, put him down to 2. I don't hate that. You know, when in doubt, swing at life. Really something I believe. If you're not sure, just look your opponent in the eyes and say, hey, I'll kill you, bro. You know, this whole trading board thing, that's fun. We can have fun doing that. But ultimately, your board doesn't matter. My board doesn't matter. What matters is you're at 0 life and I just did damage. Oh, the gravity blade here was on 8. Yeah, this, okay. Player on the right is almost for sure winning this game, I have to imagine. That was doing that on 8 with the teach established um, is a huge blowout. I mean, he's only at 2 life. And as I said last game, typically the person who goes first is the aggressor. Um, Last game was a little different than what we normally see. Um, oh, and he has the Jinbei. Oh my goodness, this is such a strong turn. This is like everything you could dream of on 8. He got to clear 3 things. Did he Gravity Blade? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna just double check it. Okay, he did Gravity Blade before he swung because there's the boa. Okay. So yeah, played the Weevil. I think he has maybe 4 or 5 cards left in his hand. Left player only has 2 swings. He has to address board, otherwise he has to address board in some manner, otherwise his opponent has 6 swings. But he does have a pretty full grip. But you just have to imagine you're not living through, 6 swings, 10 dawn. So you have to address the board in some manner. Maybe if you're like super sick in the head, if you had like all 2Ks, maybe there's a weird world where you could go like 9-10 leader effect here because you know the top of your deck and just say, hey, I'm going to put you to 0. And then like if you have all 2Ks in hand, you can survive. And then you can kill them the following turn if they go for it. But I mean, that's a psycho move to do if you do it. So 9 dawn turn, we're playing Perona. He doesn't look super happy with the stack he just saw, is the read that I'm getting. Wouldn't even be surprised based on his reaction if this goes on the bottom. I think he knows he's in a tough spot here. Player on the right really showing why Gravity Blade can be so strong in the mirror. Don't get me wrong, there's times where it's completely dead and doesn't do anything. Like, if you're the player on the left right now and you have Gravity Blade in your hand, it's unplayable, which he actually might. Unplayable on this turn, at least. It could be really strong next turn. I think he does have it, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a Gravity Blade. Pretty unplayable this turn. Could be really strong next turn. However, we really need to be accomplishing a lot this turn just because our opponent's board is so scary. I think us choosing to swing at life probably gave the opponent that Gravity Blade too. I think it gave him both the Gravity Blade and the Jinbei. Okay, so swinging 8. I think we have 4 dawn remaining then. We're just adding a 2K off the get-go. What did we swing 8 at? Oh, gave 3 cards. 2 1Ks and a 2K. Okay, you can get a really big read off of your opponent when they do that. No more 2Ks in the hand. So, why did we choose to swing 8 there? Maybe we win 8 because if... Maybe his plan was that if his opponent took, he was going to swing 9. I think that's what it was. If his opponent took, I think his plan was honestly to swing 9 and say, look, I have so many cards in my hand. I just drew 2 2Ks. Try to go for game. I really could not care if you try to go for game. I have so much counter in my hand. Which, you know, would be a really interesting play, honestly. I don't know if I've really tried that in a spot like this that many times. Where like my opponent has 6 swings and 10 dawn, right? Like that's like you need so much counter. And then like imagine they just start with like um, play pudding, remove your hand, and then like they lose um, you know, some stuff, but like if you're I don't know, they'd still have 5 swings and um, a fair amount of dawn. This is a really interesting spot though. You kind of want want a second gravity blade, honestly. Um, the Perona body is oddly kind of annoying. We're so low on cards in hand, and our opponent knows we don't really have a 2K that I think. How many do we have? Do we have 3 or 4? I can't really tell. This is a really interesting spot, though. I would love to see what the player on the right decides to do. Honestly, these have been some phenomenal matches to watch. I would love to do more of this in the future, so let me know if you guys enjoy this content. I know there's some other people who already do this stuff. Clearly, this was already on RJ's channel. Shout out to RJ. But really, I'm just doing this mostly because I wanted to watch these, so I might as well, you know, might as well make a video out of it. And as I said previously, there were some people who asked for it. Wow, I really think the player on the left has like 10 cards in hand. Okay, so swinging 7 at life, seeing if he can get 2 cards. Um, I wonder if he's going to take this just to try and bait him to do more. Um, I don't think the 7K swing really tells us a lot about his hand. Oh, he did take. Yeah, because if you do see a gravity blade trigger there, it helps a lot too. Okay, so going 7. This still doesn't tell us a lot because he could still um, gravity blade us. But this next swing will tell us what the right player is planning. Oh, another take. Oh, he has absolutely no fear. He is looking his opponent in the eyes and saying, "You do not have the pudding, sir." He's saying, "If you had the pudding, you would have already done it." Oh, wow. 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 So if he puddings, he has, potentially 4 swings, 4 dawn left. Wow. If you're the right player, you have to imagine that you're just never killing. I think he knows he loses. Because your opponent added 2 2Ks and then took these 2 swings. Um, I mean, you can just. I imagine he has enough counter that he can just take this, right? Um, maybe he doesn't. I mean, he has genuinely like 12 cards in hand or something crazy. If anyone knows the exact number of cards in his hand, I would love to know. I mean, you should be able to math out pretty easily here if you can die. It should be a pretty quick decision, honestly. I guess maybe he's thinking about what if the right player has perfume, changes the math a little bit just because there's the teach on board. Hmm. Left player, obviously a very, very strong player. I imagine he's going to end up winning this and going to the finals, and we'll watch the finals after this, and maybe he wins the finals. But oh, this is a really cool play. So by playing over the Law, who had 2 Dawn attached to him, you're using 1 Dawn for the Sengoku, right? But the Teach allows you to basically generate a Dawn, because that 2 Dawn that was stuck before, you now get to attach. So he really took that 7, and now he's swinging, what is it, 3, 11? Okay, 11, and then he'll have a 5. Yep. Oh, and he's so excited. He might have just won. I don't know how their thing is structured, but that might have been for Worlds. Wow. Wow, really interesting game. Really interesting game. Um, I almost want to like in this spot, I thought this player was so fried. I guess he's only at 2 life, but like really, and he looked unhappy about this. Like really, him being at 3 life. And why is he at 3 life? That's a question I want to solve. So he's at 3 life because so he countered this. I think something this player did that maybe ended up biting him eventually was they're like trying to chase this Weevil and trying to KO it when they could have just been using this Law repeatedly to just like the Weevil is awful if you have a Law plus Teach and you're just recycling the Law. So maybe that's what we're on here. I would love to know if anyone in the comments has strong thoughts about why this player lost. Because they did get to go second. They saw, honestly, a really strong opening. Um, and I'm not exactly sure why he lost. Um, so I would love to hear from people some analysis in the comments if anyone knows. But anyways, I'm gonna go watch the finals. That video will also be going up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.